Hey everyone, it's Andy here from Saving to Invest, and I just want to give a quick update today on some interesting data that came out from the Department of Labor with their latest jobless and unemployment claims. And it had some interesting insight into where the jobs are going and where the jobs are coming. So, just really wanted to talk about sort of where are the jobs. I know there's a lot of people who are looking for jobs or waiting for the economy to improve as we emerge from the COVID crisis. So, I thought it'd be interesting to just to highlight where we've seen the most change in jobs, which industries are losing jobs, and then sort of where you can look if you're looking for a job. So hopefully this is insightful, and I'll put some links below to the raw data. So if you want to go check it out, you can do that yourself later on. As always, if you find this information useful, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button below the video. It helps me keep this channel going, and it's free. So the Department of Labor, and this chart actually came from CNBC as well, showed that there is definitely an improvement in unemployment, but one area that's really struggling the most is long-term unemployment. These have been out of a job for at least 6 months, and this group is obviously grown a lot. And as you can see from the chart here, it's the highest since almost the 2008, 2009 crisis. It's approaching those levels, and it's not surprising. These people have been on those extended enhanced unemployment benefits, and it's been hard to find a consistent job or they've lost income. But it's a growing group, and this is a concerning group because this group, the longer you're unemployed, the harder it is to get a job, and they lose their skills, they lose their motivation, and it's harder even for employers when they look at them. They think of their lack of work history. So that being said, it's kind of scary when you see that almost 40% have been out of a job for at least 6 months. But the good news is that the economy is improving. There is hope. There are more employers are hiring as the virus subsides because of the vaccine coming out. I think people are learning to take more safety precautions and working in the COVID world. There is definitely an improvement in jobs. So while this is bad news that we're getting a lot long-term unemployment is increasing based on the latest data, and it's expect to go up at least in the next couple of months as people find jobs. But there is definitely places in the market that are showing improvement. So this is broken up by from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So this is official data. It's only for 1 month, but sort of reflects a trend based on the previous months I've been looking at. And it basically shows that in the professional and business services, and this is broken up by industries, and you can see the BLS data for specific breakdowns. But professional and business services essentially is consulting, professional services, think of the white collar workers. So that's had a lot of growth, a good rebound. I think as companies feel that the economy and the outlook is getting better, the administration, I think the Biden administration is probably going to provide more certainty and manage it in a more sort of normal way. There's definitely an increase in sort of those higher paying white collar jobs. So if you're coming out of grad school or you're looking to shift jobs, look at the professional and business services industries, and you can see the detailed report for how these are broken out. But this is growing now. Of course, beginning of the year these jobs tend to rise, but it is definitely something that I think it's been happening for several years. It's part of the fact that we're becoming a more digital economy. So that's the reason why this is growing. So you can definitely see this is by far the largest. If you're aiming for a job, trying to find a job, look in sort of the business services and professional industry that's there. Government is growing as well. I think that's part of going to happen under Democratic administration, but also a lot of federal programs are rolling out as part of the CARES Act, part of the COVID relief bill. So that's also increased the jobs there. Unemployment agencies, which are some of the worst, are also hiring a lot more people to deal with the surge in claimants and the system upgrades. And again, you'll see information, wholesale, mining, those have all sort of had increases, right? But what is also not surprising, but leisure and hospitality has taken a $61,000 person change in jobs, and this is again seasonal. Part of it's because as we have winter months in the Northeast, people tend to spend less and less travel less with COVID, of course, out there. But you'll see in the next slide all the ones that have dropped: healthcare, retail, transportation. They've all dropped. Definitely, I'd say a large part is seasonal, but a lot of it because these jobs are never going to come back. There's places that due to the technological change or because people are doing more things online, people are going to use different Airbnb. There's going to be different way of looking at healthcare with telemedicine. Transportation, warehousing is becoming more automated, as is manufacturing. There's just going to be less jobs here, and I think this next slide shows you sort of how it's changed, and this is how many jobs we would need to create to go back to pre-pandemic levels. And I don't think any of these ever going to be there. I mean, 582,000 in manufacturing, 383,000 in retail, over close to 4 million in leisure and hospitality, healthcare and transportation. Now, yes, we will definitely get back a lot of these jobs. I think, especially in leisure and hospitality, as people travel more, they come out, they go to restaurants, the COVID restrictions reduce, there will be more leisure and hospitality. But do you really think that we're going to get close to 5 million jobs back? I don't think so. So I think you need to go back and look at these different industries and say, like, this is where you should focus on for the future, and this is where the jobs are at. I think in the future, this is where you're going to see jobs, and this is where you should be focusing on. So, you know, if I have to summarize the findings, what I thought was interesting was that the jobs are coming back. I mean, there's no doubt about unemployment overall is improving. The rate dropped today to about 6.5%. Again, that's not including the long-term unemployed who are definitely increasing. But I think long-term unemployed, some people just can't go back to work because of um, restrictions around childcare because schools are not open. So, but I think as that improves, the jobs market will improve. I'll definitely say focus on industries seeing growth because the growth you're seeing now is just going to get accelerated in the future. Absolutely, leisure and hospitality will get back, and others will get more jobs. But I think the growth in professional services, digital-related jobs, technology, those are growing, and that's where you should focus on. So whether you're a younger person or a mid-career person, focus on getting back into those industries or going into those industries. So your future job prospects, if we have another economic slowdown, which is highly possible in a few years with all the spending and likely risk of inflation down the road, focus on getting in jobs that have the most growth, that are seeing the most increases as well. And you'll find that those professional and business services also have the highest incomes. And that's a separate video I'll do on incomes by industry, but those also pay well. Um, the other thing I'll say is, definitely long-term unemployed is an issue, and I think that trend will slowly change once the economy probably till summer improves, and people are still relying on their benefits. And I do think there'll be more unemployment benefit extensions in 2021 under Biden. That $1.9 trillion package looks like it's going to get through with or without Republican support. And again, you can see another video I'll be doing on that shortly, but don't rely on them forever. I don't think the appetite to keep increasing them once the vaccines is out to the most of the population, once we reach herd immunity around 70% of the population, those benefits will get harder and harder to push through, and they're going to create a lot of deficits. They're going to be harder and harder to get through. But I do think till September we'll probably have extended unemployment benefits, but after that, they won't be around. So don't rely on them. If you're on the long-term bucket, I think it's a very valid reason to say because of COVID, because of ability to leave your house, or because you have other, caretaking duties, you can't get a job. But you don't want to get stuck in the long-term unemployed and be part of that trend that goes up. And the last one is, there are a lot of states and federal programs, especially under the CARES Act and the COVID relief bill, there's a lot of money for retraining programs. So if you want to get into professional services, business services, consulting, technology, it may sound brand new to you. Start your own blog, start your own videos, and get into digital world. That's where the world is going, and we were going that way. COVID has just put a rocket ship under that, and it's going to happen. What was going to happen over 10 years is happening over 2 years. So I think you need to realize that's where the world is moving. That's where America is moving, and take advantage of a lot of these free retraining programs that could be found through states, through federal government, through agencies. Google this kind of stuff, and there's a lot of good support programs, a lot of good places you can do to get back into it, and there's a lot of things you can do on your own. You can get into become your own employee, and I'll post some ideas shortly on where you can find professions that you can get into yourself, or you can do that. But you have to realize the trend is changing. You need to accept it. You need to move forward with it. But that there is a lot of hope, and the economy is improving. Anyway, hope this quick video was informative, and I'll post some links to get some more data. But stay safe, everyone.